UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has attempted to coordinate a response with world leaders against Donald Trump's trade war. He spoke with French President Emmanuel Macron, where both shared their concern over the economic and security impact of the US-imposed tariffs.
Amid the tranquility of Chequers, the Prime Minister is weathering a storm. Speaking to world leaders on the phone this weekend, talking tariffs, what they mean, how to deal with them.
It's a great honour to have Prime Minister Starmer in the Oval Office.
Sir Keir Starmer travelled to Washington on a charm offensive just over 5 weeks ago. But this is a special relationship that is already being tested.
In such an unpredictable time, with such an unpredictable president, whether actually Sir Keir Starmer's approach, which seems to be cautious, is actually the right one.
You don't know what he's going to do next, so therefore those relationships with our closest European neighbours and others are even more important to keep our economy on track.
But at the same time, you believe that the Prime Minister is not being tough enough and not being stern enough.
You can't have a special relationship with a bully. You have to stand up to the bully.
The Prime Minister has agreed with the French President Emmanuel Macron that a trade war is in no one's interests, but that nothing should be off the table. They also discussed progress being made with the Coalition of the Willing, an international partnership supporting Ukraine against Russia. The workload of world troubles is growing. In London, people gathered to protest against Donald Trump's controversial policies.
I don't think any country should be bullied into submission, so I hope the UK sends a firm message back.
Even if that means fueling a trade war?
I think a trade war is inevitable. Trump is going to have one. He wants one.
It's a tricky position to be in, isn't it? It's hard to know how to negotiate with bonkersness.
The Trump tariffs are sending shockwaves around the globe, and those shockwaves will be felt by people in their everyday lives. And as politicians try to figure out how to respond, British companies and those elsewhere are already making changes. The metal industry has already been feeling the effects of the Trump tariffs, with steel now unable to be sold to the US at an affordable price. Other major industries are also preparing for big changes.
£60 billion worth of exports go, and around a quarter to a fifth of that at any one time to the United States. So we're trade intensive. So these tariffs are most unwelcome. We're talking about tens, if not hundreds of millions of pounds worth of damage.
With businesses, pensioners and farmers unhappy at the government's economic choices, the Prime Minister is rapidly finding out that his options are being limited, not by his own policies, but the inhabitant of the White House, more than 3,000 miles away. Nick Martin, Sky News, Central London.